I never start something I don't intend to finish. I really do take this as far as I can take this. I think people really in this country are quite, I'd say quite disenfranchised from how things are done. I think we're so fragmented. We really need to rethink and reset how we do politics and how we do managing of people and opinions. We've got to listen to people. What makes common sense is not being followed anywhere, from what I can see.
A village in rural Oxfordshire has voted 96% in favour of having a referendum to leave the UK and become an independent state. The vote was in response to plans to turn a nearby military storage facility into accommodation for around 1,250 single adult male asylum seekers. On July the 4th, inspired by America's Independence Day, a vote was held in Piddington's Village Hall, with 175 residents voting yes and only 7 saying no. Well, Tim McNally is the chair of Piddington Parish Council and joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning, Kate.
Tim, thank you for joining us. Can you just explain first why this vote happened? What's it actually about?
Very simply, we were in shock and awe when the news was announced. There was no sort of like warm-up. I was aware through some whistleblowers some information was coming, but I had no idea it was actually a true thing that was going to occur. So when the news was dropped on the Friday of the 26th of June, we had an emergency meeting with the parish on the following Monday, and I was just shocked with the absolute impact it made upon people in terms of they felt quite powerless, quite concerned. They couldn't work out what to do, how to manage it, how to look forward, how to bring a positive mental attitude to the issue. I myself was thinking, how am I going to bring these people together to form a plan, to form a plan to either reject the proposal or a plan to manage the proposal should it come upon us, and how we actually work together as a team. And it was only actually after a period of, I was driving down the M4 and I saw on a gantry this thing, Jeremy Clarkson For King. And I thought, wow, this is a sort of mentality I need to get people to hook into, get people to be part of something, make them feel empowered to actually make an impact on what's about to come upon them. So, the idea of the Principality of Piddington was inspired by also the mouse that roared. So we are actually, we're thinking about we're the village that roared. We're actually going to come back. We're going to put Piddington on the map and just show people who we are. And, people might think, well, you're privileged and whatever else. No, we've worked damn hard. Every person in this village has worked hard for what they've made and what they've created. It's a choice in life, and they've made their choice. And the choice that's coming back on them isn't one that really was going to be part of the equation.
And Tim, just let's just be clear what we're talking about here, because what we're saying is that the government is allocating accommodation to asylum seekers, and they're using former military land and former military bases, and that's the site you're talking about.
Correct.
Has there been any engagement since you discovered that the government was seriously considering this? And do the villagers oppose the site, or do they just want more say in how it works? What's the feeling about the site in general?
I think the feeling about the site is two things, or three things really. Firstly, why is it exclusively male? First question. Why is it not suitable for women and children, families? Number one. Second question is security vetting. The word security vetting and database checking isn't actually what's being done. Yes, it's being done, but not to the standards and to the expectations that you and I maybe think are security vetting, because there's no way actually they could even verify the age of these people. Just 15 days ago on Radio 4, the Home Office identified that they had no means by which to validate the age of these people. So how on earth can they do security vetting? Doesn't add up. And then the third part really is the fact that it's an open environment, this sort of sign in, sign out environment. We have a prison already in the village, and we have no problems with that whatsoever. It's great. It creates employment for the area, but this is an open environment. And 1,000 men. Where has the government done a study on 1,000 men in terms of the psychoanalysis aspect of their behaviour, how they need to be managed internally themselves?
Yeah. So what happens now then? Because 175 residents voted yes. You only had 7 who said no. I mean, what's the actual next step?
So the next step is tonight we have quite a big meeting. We're planning our way forward. We've got obviously the proposal to reject, which we're heading for. We've received a document of instruction by the government. They're following the Crown determination for planning. which in its own right gives us some options in terms of it could be rejected by the inspectorate, and we have an opportunity for inquiry if needed. But the real aspect is, I never start something I don't intend to finish. I really do take this as far as I can take this. I think people really in this country are quite disenfranchised from how things are done. I think we're so fragmented. We really need to rethink and reset how we do politics and how we do managing of people and opinions. We've got to listen to people. What makes common sense is not being followed anywhere, from what I can see. And on that basis, that's why we've basically got such a furore of support behind us, a massive amount of support to actually start to demonstrate back just how we ought to operate as a country. And if we can't do it as a country, we'll do it as a principality and show you as one entity how it should be done.
Well, Tim, look, I'm sure there'll be lots of people who are really interested in your story, because you will not be the only area facing this kind of decision without much consultation. So, Tim McNally, thank you very much for joining us on the programme this morning.
Thank you, Kate. Thanks for having me.
Chair of Piddington Parish Council.
And there's a new Prime Minister who believes in devolution. So maybe he will accept the Principality of Piddington. Some people say it could also be renamed the Principality of NIMBY. But I think people by nature are NIMBYs. I think this is the problem we have in this country, because if you lived in a small village and something of that significant was about to put there, can you honestly say with your hand on hearts, for a greater good of the nation, they need to go somewhere, I'm willing for the 1,250 men to be put this close to my village?
I think the point that the villagers have made, and it's not just this village, there are others in the area who are saying the same thing. It's not a detention centre, it's a free access centre, so people can come and go as they please. And as Tim was pointing out, what impact does that have on the local area?
And how much have they taken that into account?
And how much has it been taken into account?
Well, clearly nothing will happen, but, can you start asking these questions and maybe people will start to come up with different ways of answering them? 033 003 2353.